Hi, and welcome to Josh and Tim Talk Sports, NFL Prediction Show, Week 18. We've reached the final week of the NFL season. I'm Tim Shirer. My partner Josh Dome is not here.
MIA.
Not sure when he'll be back. Tommy, my son Tommy Shirer, is on my left. And my broadcast bowling partner, Chuck Kulchock. We might be doing one this weekend. Are we doing it or no?
I'll be there Saturday, not
Saturday.
Sunday.
Okay, I'm going to go then Saturday. Yeah.
I'll be there.
So we'll be on the air Saturday.
I will spend a little more time on the air being that Vicky and Don, I believe, are both going.
Okay.
So
we'll put Blue Devils.
Either way,
Facebook
I will be spending
page.
a little more time on air.
You can listen to good bowler, bad bowler. Eagle tournament it is.
Yeah, it's in Garrettsville, Ohio.
Yeah.
For anyone that's interested.
So let's get going here. What happened was the standings did not change. Chuck and Josh are still tied for first place. We did not count the Monday night game because I'm not sure if the stuff counts. With what happened there, but Chuck and Josh went 11-6. Tommy went 10-7. Oh my gosh, I can't. I think Tony was 8-9.
Jesus Christ.
But proudly I was 14-3. And ain't gonna move me. Still in the same spot. It ain't nothing's changing, but I was happy with that. So so Chuck and Josh are first. Tommy's third. Second, third, whatever you want to say. I'm fourth, and Tony, our technical producer, who's also MIA, is fifth. But so we have, there's 16 games in the NFL this week. Why don't we just start with the first game?
Well, I think too. I'd
Okay.
like to put our thoughts and prayers out there for that young man on Monday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so good to hear that he's improving every hour, it seems like.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit here and say anything other than that because obviously I have no idea other than what I'm hearing out there. So prayers to Hamilton and
Damar Hamlin is
all good things come.
And his charity has raised so much money.
And for a young man that was hoping for $2,500
I think
in
it's
his
$7
charity,
million.
he's up over $7 million. Also, as of today, he's got the highest selling jersey of all sports right now.
Yeah.
The love's out there for that young man.
Yeah. And it should be.
Sounds like he's a good guy too.
Yeah,
everything I've seen.
You should never lose your life on
No.
athletic field.
Nope. And also nothing but good things about the doctors and the nurses and everyone else that was on that
athletic
field.
trainers.
Well trained, well prepared, and they saved that young man's life. So
They sure did.
Godspeed to everybody out there who was involved in helping save his life.
And first question he asked when he woke up: Did we win? I mean,
Not that.
it's just, it's crazy, but that's, I guess, how an athlete's mind that's what matters to an athlete.
That's what matters.
But now we're going to get to the picks for the week, since the NFL, is going to go on. I think we got first game this week is Chiefs and Raiders. What do you got, Chuck?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'm sorry, the Chiefs. I think they just got to continue to get into the play. They're in the playoffs. I don't see them losing to the Raiders on Sunday or Saturday.
Tommy, what do you got?
I have the Chiefs. Yeah, I just, they'll win, I'm sure.
And yeah, I have the Chiefs too. Josh and Tony, they both picked the Chiefs. I don't think that's any surprise that everybody picked the Chiefs. I think the Raiders are in disarray.
Well, now the Raiders will win.
You never know. The Raiders,
They win at random times.
Yeah.
They've beaten them a few times too. So.
This next one's gonna be a good game. We got the Tennessee Titans, who've not played like Titans lately. At the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you got, Chuck?
I do think it's going to be a tough game. Tennessee's got some injuries. I mean, they're going with Joshua Dobbs. I don't think they have any choice. I'm not sure. Is Derrick Henry playing?
I don't know.
I would think.
I'm going. I got to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars at home.
Okay. What do you got?
Well, I have the Jaguars. I just think I love Josh Dobbs. I think he's a hard worker, good teammate. I just think the Titans just are playing like crap right now, and the Jaguars are playing very well, so I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Okay. Well, the Josh has Jacksonville.
And Tony has the Titans.
I have Jacksonville.
And Tony has the Titans.
Tony has no one. Tony did not do that. I don't
So
know.
we'll say the Titans.
No, we're not going to say anything for Tony. Yeah, I texted him after he sent me his picks. I think he was at bowling practice.
He was.
So I think he was distracted. So I can get it from him after the show. Whatever is the wrong pick. That's probably what he'll pick.
Right now, we all
I don't
took
know.
Jacksonville,
I don't know
so
what the
he'll
wrong
take the
pick is.
Titans.
Yeah, probably.
He's not that bad.
Probably.
He makes some wild picks, but
that's-
I think he makes some wild picks, but I think that sometimes it's picks that are a possibility.
But I think he has
You know
fun
what I
with
mean?
it too.
Yeah.
So next we've got this is going to be an emotional game in Buffalo. The Patriots at the Bills. I don't know. I mean, he's getting better, so that's good. It's got to be tough to get back on that field, though.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's going to be tough. However, I think once they get on the field, they're going to do what they know they have to do, and they got some incentive. And I think Buffalo destroys New England on Sunday.
Yeah. What do you got,
I
Tommy?
agree. I think the Bills are going to absolutely smack them around.
Looks like Tony thinks the same thing, and Tony says in his picks, prayers to Damar Hamlin. And Josh also picks the Bills. And I pick the Bills. And I must think it's a pretty big margin because they have 10 confidence points on it, so that's pretty high.
Mine was a 15 confident out of 16.
Wow, that's really high. I just can never go. I can't go higher than 10 when Bill Belichick's facing somebody because I don't know. He just
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, you just don't know. And
I know we don't like the word hot take here, but
yeah, we definitely do not like.
I have a warm take.
And how about an opinion?
I have an opinion, a strong opinion on Bill Belichick.
You don't think he's that good?
I don't know what he's proven without Tom Brady.
No. Yeah,
So.
they were.
He's got to prove he's good without
You
him.
know, how about this? How about we say this? How about we say he's been rebuilding since Tom Brady left, and who's the better team guy? Is Tom Brady a team guy? He saw this coming, so he left. He went to a team that had a lot.
I just think he
That's
doesn't
what
like
I'm
Bill
wondering.
Belichick anymore.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Something happened. They were a good team for a long time. Belichick and Brady, that is.
And it's got to end.
I mean, they won 6.
And their
Super
defense
Bowls.
and their defenses were good, which is his specialty. So, but
And we can say all we want about Belichick and Brady. 6 Super Bowls. That's all I got. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I like them or I don't
And
like
I
them.
can't. That's
6
why I
Super Bowls.
can't bet against Belichick. If he was a bad coach, if he wasn't that good of a coach, it would definitely not have lasted 20 years.
Right.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You know. So
I'm
let's
not
get
saying
to
he's
the.
not a good coach. I'm
No,
just saying,
right.
I don't know if he's the best
don't have an opinion really, other than 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Well, let's. Here we get this next one. Vikings and Bears. You know, some might say this is going to be not a close game, but I don't know. The Vikings recently have not shown me a lot. What do you think, Chuck?
Well, Fields isn't playing. And again, I think Minnesota's got to go in playing well, so I'm taking Minnesota.
What do you got, Tommy?
I am going to take Minnesota also, because the Bears are bad with Justin Fields,
They're a lot worse.
and he's pretty good. So they have to be god awful when he's not
But
playing. Right?
it's their defense why they can't win.
Well,
They've given up.
but he's their whole offense.
I believe they've given up 450 points.
Yeah, he's their
That's
whole
horrible.
offense though. So
He is. That's true. And I'm going to go with the Vikings too. But I thought of something. I didn't think of something. I heard something that Tony Romo said last week, and it really hit home. And then when I did my picks, he's right with the numbers with the defense. They give up way too many points to win in the playoffs.
oh yeah.
Way too many points to win in the playoffs. So they could go out in the first round.
They very well could.
They could, or they could win the Super Bowl.
You could, yeah. You never know.
They're one
All
of
those
those.
years they were expected to win the Super Bowl and they didn't. And this could be the year. Oh, they're not going to do. And they might. You don't know. Next is AFC. I almost said AFC Central. Like the old days. AFC North matchup with the Ravens and the Bengals. Ravens at the Bengals. So what do you got there, Chuck?
I took the Bengals. Again, I think they're going to have heavy hearts.
Yeah, I mean, have it on their field.
They're at home. They need to play well going into the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
This is a team that could win the Super Bowl, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Good.
So
What do you got, Tommy?
I have the Bengals. I did see something interesting about the Bengals. The last 4 major injuries that have happened in the NFL have all happened in Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah, the Shazier injury
Oh, yeah.
was in
On
Cincinnati.
Monday night.
That's
on
Antonio
Monday.
Brown's concussion that pretty much changed his personality. Yeah, that big one where he was knocked out on the field,
Wow,
Cincinnati.
yeah.
Tua's concussion this year that was in Cincinnati.
that wasn't. I'll be darned.
Yeah,
Wow.
isn't that crazy? And then this obviously horrible this past week, but
That's a
that's just something
coincidence.
nice. Isn't that crazy? Just like
It's-
when Alex Smith broke his leg at the same exact yard line against, same score, same yard line,
And against the Giants,
same
right?
date, Giants.
Giants.
Or
So
no,
they were and they were,
it wasn't against the Giants.
but they were
The
honoring
defense-
Theismann at
The
halftime.
defensive tackle that tackled him had the same amount of defensive players of the year as the guy who tackled.
Okay. And,
the-
yeah. I mean,
So you think about stuff like that,
It's-
just crazy,
yeah.
It's-
It's like Lincoln Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy's secretary was Lincoln. Lincoln's secretary was Kennedy. It's like, wow, this stuff is
I actually saw a fun fact about
so.
a Lincoln thing the other day, and it's just funny just because our government is so old. Just in general, just everybody's old, That Biden's inauguration is further from the date he was born than Lincoln's inauguration was to when he was born.
Wow.
It was 77 years before he was born, and he was in 78 when he was.
Jeez.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I mean, that's really a lot of years, when it comes all together, but still.
So, I got the Bengals, and Josh and Tony both have the Bengals.
That's not good.
So, you know who's going to win.
Hopefully not the Pigs.
Let's hope not. Now we got Houston at Indianapolis. I was surprised with my numbers. Who I got. Let's get Josh and Tony out of the way first. Josh picks the Colts. Tony picks the Colts. What do you got, Chuck?
I took Houston. As crazy it is, Houston's been playing a little better. They've put up some points.
Yeah.
Indy just has been El Stinko.
What a mess. What a complete
So
mess.
I'm going with Houston.
I also picked the Texans. And I'll say this, the Texans are a better football team right now than the Colts. That's why I picked them.
Sure.
I thought I was going to pick the Texans, but my numbers gave me the Colts. And I think it's because it's in Indianapolis.
And that doesn't
Give 'em that
surprise me.
extra.
That doesn't surprise me because I think the Colts played really well early in the year.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of your numbers come from too. It's the whole season.
Yeah.
So, and I think they're just so bad with Jeff Saturday. Honestly, I just think they're so bad.
Yeah, what a mess. What a mess.
Like, at least make the guy like maybe an offensive line coach before he's an NFL.
The experiment.
He won one game and then he
I
hasn't
even
won
gained
since.
some respect for Chris Collinsworth the other night during the Sunday night game, and I've never really had anything for him. He talked about that he coached high school football for a while, and he said, and I can't even come close to comparing that to the NFL.
No, God no.
And so I just can't, like Jim Irsay is. Wow, I mean, we talk a lot of crap about, and I do talk a lot of crap about Jimmy Haslam. Jim Irsay's got to be close.
Well, you know what? Too, I like Jeff Saturday. I like what he was doing on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you gotta say no.
Yeah.
And I just think that his ego took over here, and I really think he did it because he thought he was going to make a difference.
Yeah, I think so, because he probably loves the organization because he played
And
there.
it just didn't work.
No.
And even being like, for me, like, I went to college, whatever, stopped playing, and then started coaching baseball. Like, being a head coach of a baseball team, even a high school team, is hard enough. You know what I mean? A high school, and going from being a high school football coach is hard enough, and then just thinking you can just be an NFL coach.
It's
Like, I could not imagine being, that's like them saying you want to be a manager for the Guardians, and I just 162 games instead of 25.
I mean, and you
know
think
what
about
I mean?
it too,
And then a minor
like
league system.
you think about it too, like I remember when the Browns fired one of the coaches. I don't know, it's Pat Shermer maybe, right after Haslam took over, and people were foolishly putting forward that they should hire Chuck Kyle from St. Ignatius. No, that just can't happen.
No. It's
And Chuck
completely
Kyle
different.
is a heck of a coach.
It's completely different.
But he's not an NFL coach.
Your personality has to be different to be an NFL.
Yeah.
To be a professional coach compared to.
And
in
then
high school, you have to care a different way than you
Well,
care.
and
This
you
is
have to-
why
and you have to
college
buy in
coaches
in a
going to
different
the
way.
NFL doesn't even work.
And you got to get coach
doesn't work.
players to buy in, and they're
doesn't
not
work.
going to do it.
You can't.
No.
You have to be an assistant at every level before you can. Be
I
a
think
head
so.
coach.
So we better get to the next pick. We've got the Jets at the Dolphins. Let's get Josh and Tony's out of the way. We got, I believe both picked the Dolphins. Yes, both Josh and Tony picked the Dolphins. What do you got, Chuck?
Chuck took the Dolphins.
Yeah, what did
I
you
took the
take?
Dolphins.
Oh, so did I. You went with the mayor, Mike White, last week with the Jets, and that didn't.
You lost.
You were the only one.
That's all
I'm
right.
just saying. I
That's
did
all right.
scold you when you made your pick on the show
Yeah.
that I thought the former mayor would not lead them over the Seahawks.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Say
no, I'm
you
just
thought
saying.
he was a better farmer than a quarterback.
Well, yeah, and a good mayor too. Good mayor. Kept our baseball team here.
Yeah.
So then we've got Carolina at New Orleans. And by the way, the NFC South has 4 more wins at present than the AFC South. So,
So they're the
they get a
second
lot
worst
of
division
crap.
in the NFL.
Well, but they're not the worst. They get a lot of crap, but they're not the worst.
You just hear the crap. I think people.
That's
do.
because Tom Brady is in the division. I think.
I do think people know the AFC South is worse, but they say that because of Tom Brady.
I
do
think so.
That's why.
Yeah. So Tony picks the Saints. Josh picks the Panthers. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, I was a little surprised when I did a little bit of research on this game. I went with the Saints. Again, I think it's going to be a close game, and I went with the home team. I went with the New Orleans Saints.
I went with the
Tommy?
Panthers. I don't know. They've been playing better lately.
They didn't play too well last game.
They didn't play horrible. They didn't lose by that much.
They gave it away in the second half.
But I just have the Panthers. you go, they played a close game with the Buccaneers, Buccaneers are a lot better than the record, so I think they could beat the Saints.
Okay. I picked the Saints. My numbers were close too, Chuck. And I think the home team thing was another one. I think it was. This one. The Herberts at the Wilsons. Chargers at Denver. That crowd should be real welcoming to Russell this week.
I'm sure.
I'm sure they will be. Let's see what Tony has. Tony has the Chargers. He's abandoned the Broncos, and so does Josh. What do you have?
Well, I abandoned the Broncos a long time ago.
I abandoned them in 1987.
Long time ago. Chargers, please.
Chargers, okay. What do you got, Tom?
I have the Chargers, and I just want to point out how good Josh thought the Broncos were going to be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, he did.
He said they might make it to the Super Bowl.
But I'm going to come back with that one.
That's hilarious.
But I'm going to come back with one right now. I watched our first show the other day.
Yeah.
Prediction show, because I wanted to see who picked who. So, actually, the only person that didn't pick the Bills to win the Super Bowl, 5 of us made picks. 4 of us picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. He's the only one that picked the Vikings to win the Super Bowl over the Bills, which is fine. But he talked crap the entire show about how Justin Herbert wasn't a playoff quarterback. Well, he is now.
Well,
I just gotta say it.
he didn't prove it. He didn't prove it till this year.
He proved it now. Oh, last year they would have made the playoffs.
They didn't,
last year
though, right?
if the coach hadn't called a timeout.
Ifs. That's an if.
But
That's a big
I'm
if.
just pointing that out.
You never know.
I'm just pointing it out.
So.
We got.
You act like I say he's terrible. I don't. I think he's good, but I'm sick of people trying to tell me he's as good as Joe Burrow, Mahomes.
Well, I've never heard anyone say he's
I
as good
hear
as
it all the
Mahomes.
time.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I don't know that. None of us, I don't think, have said it.
No, you guys haven't, but I hear it all the time. All
I think
over
he's
the place.
good.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, we got now Giants and Eagles. Let's get Tony's and Josh's out of the way. They picked. Tony picked the Giants, and Josh picked the Eagles. Tony picked the Giants.
I look funny. The Giants have nothing on the line on this game, so. In Philadelphia,
the Eagles lose, they could play the Buccaneers.
Well, the Eagles, whether Minshew plays or Hurts plays, both of those guys got to play well.
Yeah.
Well, Hurts will.
And
Minshew
Philly
plays
still needs to win this game to
They
win
could
the
fall
East.
all the way to 4th.
So Philadelphia is going to win
Fifth.
this game.
Yes.
They're going to win this
I
game.
think so too.
But the Giants got nothing
gave
to
my
play
pick.
for.
I
I
think
wouldn't be
so.
surprised if some of the Giants starters sit.
I know.
I have.
I don't need sake.
I picked the Eagles. Is Hurts playing? Do we know?
We don't know that yet.
No, we don't
He
know.
practiced.
They could lose if
But I
Minshew
think
starts.
He was on the field, but
Yeah.
they didn't really say whether Hurts.
They could
He
lose
was part
if
of
Minshew
meetings.
starts.
Minshew
He's
hasn't.
Terrible.
He's been terrible the last 2 games.
What week did Jalen get Hurts in? I can't remember.
I don't remember. That was
that
a
was
good one though.
I was good. I thought it was pretty good.
I do think they could lose. I think
thought
these
it
last 2 weeks have proven Jalen Hurts should be the MVP of the league this year.
Way too serious.
Well, he would have been, but I don't think you
Maybe
can
not
miss
with
the last
injuries, but-
3. You can't miss the last 3 or 4 games.
But
I
but
agree.
him
No, that definitely no.
but him not playing and them losing.
Well, it does show.
Does
it,
that
but-
show that he is?
Yeah,
is
it does.
He that valuable?
Yeah.
for sure.
What do we got here? We got because we are running late. We got Cardinals at 49ers.
Let's make this
Let's
quick.
do these quick. Cardinals at 49ers. What do you got? What do you got, Chuck? Cardinals at 49ers.
49.
Yeah,
come
I
on.
think so. Tony, 49ers. Josh, 49ers.
49ers.
And I've got the 49ers also. Let's do this one quick, too. Rams at Seattle. Chuck?
I will say, Bobby Wagner is one sourpuss right now. Now he's getting salty and throwing Seattle, this and that, and how they abandoned me.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But I took Seattle in this game.
Okay. What do you got?
Seattle.
All right, and Tony has Seattle, and Josh has Seattle, and I have Seattle. Let's do this one quick, just because we don't like them. None of us like them. Cowboys at Commanders. What do you got?
Sam Howell's starting this week.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think Sam Howell starting. Nothing against the young man.
Doesn't matter.
I just think that's a poor decision.
I guess Heineke asked for him to start.
And I'll tell you what.
Heineke.
And I'll tell you what.
I'm
a Ron Rivera fan, but I feel like he needs to lose his job.
Yeah, I just don't think.
I like him too, and I feel he had cancer, which gives me a soft spot for him. But goddamn, is he has absolutely he's been terrible these last horrible coaching.
To start the young, and again, I just feel that it's a bad decision.
I seriously saw something that he told Heineke he was going to start, and Heineke said Howell deserves to start, and he said okay.
Well, maybe.
That's him being a good teammate, but at some point, I don't want you if you don't want to play.
Well,
so
here we go. I'm going to say it.
I picked the Cowboys.
Okay, so did I. I'm going to say it to introduce the pick. Who says we can't be flexed?
I love that, right?
Dan Campbell in training camp. When reporters would ask him questions about them not being good and kind of being irrelevant, and he answered it with, who says we can't be flexed? The biggest game of the NFL season. Sunday night at 8:25.
Yeah.
Lions at Packers. Dan Campbell's Lions have been flexed.
They have been flexed.
They have been. It's beautiful.
And I love that too, because about 4 weeks into the season, I was seeing all these Lions fans already calling for him to be fired.
And the thing about it is, all of us,
those fans, they're about as dumb as Browns fans.
all of us who have rooted for underdog type teams, I would have to think, if you're not a Packers fan on Sunday, if you're not a person who's been a Packers fan, I have to think like 95% of the viewing audience is going to be rooting for the Lions.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
If you're not a Packers fan, you're rooting for the Lions.
Yes, this is such a great story. They could be 9-8. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me. We've grown up in this terrible Lions era. We know. What do you got, Chuck?
Tim, you know who I picked to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know who I picked to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As much as I would want Detroit to continue, it stops here.
Yeah.
Packers.
And what do you got, Tommy?
And I really don't think it's going to be close. I think the Packers win this game going away. I really do.
You're running short.
I've been on a Lions train all year. I've said it all year.
You have.
I think they're better than people wanted to give them credit for. Give me the Lions. I think it starts now.
Okay. Tony picked the Lions. Josh picked the Packers. And I just went on for how long about the Lions here?
And you picked the
I
Packers.
did.
Take the Packers.
But we don't pick with our heart, right? We don't pick with our heart. That's what I've been told by my co-host. So I got to pick the Packers. Because I feel like the numbers show, and how they've been playing lately, Packers will probably win this game. Even though I hope I get the pick wrong, I think the Packers are going to win this game.
Well, I hope I don't want to get the pick wrong. Again, I picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you did. You did?
So
Does that Super Bowl, if you get the Super Bowl right, you get like 5 bonus points or something towards the end?
Well, we picked that
The original
on the first show. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We can discuss it amongst us.
Now we have 2 important games.
We got 2 games left, but I also want to do this real quick before. I want to mention. I just mentioned we pick with our heart. You know, I've been told all year. You're picking with your heart again when I make a pick, which is not true. Even before I went with the numbers, I was not picking with my heart. I was trying to pick with common sense. But I want to. I did some little research here earlier today. Browns game picks. Everybody on the show is a Browns fan, but me. Okay. I didn't get Tony's numbers. Sorry, Tony.
Tony picked the Browns every week.
But what we got is Tommy picked the Browns 9 of 17 times. Chuck picked the Browns 9 of 16 times. Tommy picked them. Chuck picked the Browns 5 of 16 times. Oh. And Chuck and I tied. Chuck and I picked them 5 of 6 times. 16 times. The person who doesn't pick with their heart, Browns fan, Josh, you picked the Browns 13 of 17 times.
16.
13 of 17 times.
Oh.
Picked them tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Browns have won 7 games.
Browns have won 8 games.
Me.
They are 7-9.
Me. The
I don't know
person
what I
who
was
is
thinking.
told I pick with my heart. The Buccaneers have won 8 games. I picked them 11 times. Numbers don't lie. So let's get...
That's the old famous saying.
Numbers don't lie. They don't lie. Let's get to the picks for this week. We got the Buccaneers at the Falcons. What do you got, Chuck?
Again, the Buccaneers need to get their offensive struggles
It's
fixed.
looks like it's going away.
And I think they need to play well. I took Tampa Bay.
Okay. What do you got, Tommy?
I also picked the Buccaneers. I just think they'll win.
Okay. Well, like I said, 13 of 17.
14.
Well, how about 13 of 18? Because I'm picking the
With
Falcons.
17.
Okay, 13 of 17. Yeah, I'm picking the Falcons.
Okay.
Because I just think that Tampa Bay will start their guys. The numbers showed that the Falcons got the advantage. I think it's because they're at home. Because of the extra points I give them. So then, now, we're going to finish it off with what I think is one of the best rivalries in sports, even though the national media tries to say it isn't anymore, because for some reason they love the Ravens. Browns at Steelers. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, let's just say that my Browns pick are going to stay at 5.
Okay.
Pittsburgh needs to win to get into playoffs, and that's really the only reason why I'm going with Pittsburgh.
You said that about the Commanders last week.
I did, and Pittsburgh's home.
Yeah.
I'm going with Pittsburgh as much as it pains me. However, I will say, Pittsburgh, my dad, as we talked about, born and raised in Pennsylvania, Uniontown. He was a Pittsburgh fan, so I'm not ashamed to pick the Steelers.
Yeah.
So I will pick the Steelers.
Okay.
Who did Josh and Tony pick? They both picked the Browns?
They both picked the Browns.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
I'm going to pick the Browns. They don't have they don't have anything to lose, right? They don't have anything to lose. The Steelers have a whole lot to lose.
Yeah.
And I think the Browns are starting to play a little better. Hopefully we get a little second half. See what they did in the second
The
half.
defense
of the
has
game.
played well.
So let's hope that they play like that, and hopefully we knock the Steelers out of the playoffs, and they basically don't have a chance anyway, honestly. But
I think
More of a chance of the
Pittsburgh outcoaches
Yeah, they do,
the
that's true.
Browns. I mean,
Well,
It's
yeah,
possible.
Tomlin's a great coach.
Tomlin,
it's possible.
say
Great
what we
coach.
want. I respect him as a coach.
It's possible, but the emotion in this game, I think the Browns might wanna knock their division foe out.
So what we got here is a division game, and they're always good. And I supposedly hate the Browns and never picked for them. But you know what? I'm picking the Browns. How about that?
Wow.
I'm picking the Browns.
Only one.
My
to
numbers
pick
showed the
Steelers.
Browns. So I'm picking the Browns. And we got TCU Ohio State real quick. I didn't
TCU,
or TCU Georgia. What do you
Should
got?
have been.
I'm
TCU,
taking
Ohio
TCU.
What do you got, Tommy?
I got Georgia.
Tony has TCU. I have TCU. Josh has Georgia. Who'd you say?
It should have been Ohio State,
Who'd
but
you
I
say?
said Georgia.
Georgia, okay.
It should have been Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah.
They blew an
Very
18-point
unlucky.
fourth quarter lead.
Yeah, they
Very,
did.
very unlucky too.
And,
I-
for anyone that want to sit there and blame the kicker, shame on you.
No, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Shame on you.
And I think Ryan Day somewhat redeemed himself, also. You know.
I thought he coached a good game.
Yeah, I think he
For
did.
sure.
I think the fact that proves how dang good that offense is. We put 50 up on the number 2 defense in
Yeah.
the country, and 40 was it 41? 41 up against the best
It's just
defense in the
our
country.
unfortunately, our defense can't stop the
Our
run.
corners.
They couldn't stop the run.
Our corners are pathetic.
Ohio State's corners.
For a while there, I thought they were like, they say DBU. For a while, I thought they were turning into that. Absolute. Denzel Burke is
That's,
an embarrassment.
I think we're going to end it for the night. So we will have a playoff show next week. There'll only be 4 games, I think. Yeah, 4 games. So that'll be good. We could break those games down. Show won't probably be as long. So
National championship is until Monday, isn't it?
Yes, Monday. Until next time, I'm Tim, and for my partner Josh, we'll see you next week.
Good night.